The NBA Finals recap and MLB Series play bombs of the Bottom Line Bombs. It's brought to you by... Well, it's on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, but it's brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code BOMBS. And now, with that, we will begin doing things like...
You're a crumb creep. I want to fight you. But you don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum. Put that on camera. You're a creep.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean everyone?
Everyone! Give it up for the exciting Whites!
You lost it all. No. Yeah. Technically.
America, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah! It's showtime! Boogity, boogity, boogity! Ooh, let's go racing today, boys!
Welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs, the show picks with bits for tobacco use only. I am your host, the Laddie Daddy, the Bet Detective. Narca Valley scumbagger Vance, the man in the box, CJ Sullivan. We are broadcasting live a little late here and from Eagle Rock, California. See Generates, welcome. If you're watching on X live, hop on over to the YouTube. You can join the chat with John. He's already there waiting. He says, what's up at Bet Detective? Get some bombs. You get a few bombs. What's up, John? Always good to see you. Yeah, a little bit late because the man picks Dundee. Colby Dance in town.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. I enjoyed that.
And, you know, he's here to get, and the boys have him grinding away. This college preview shows, they're hammering out a bunch of them. Make sure you check them out on the main network. So they were running a little, they pushed me, laid out the old Laddie Daddy gets pushed around here. Show times are up in the air. I'm like, you know, what's his face from Office Space with the stapler? Just getting pushed around to the back. Might as well be in the side studio with boxes piled up. Anyway, but we're here now. It's a beautiful day, Monday, June 23rd, as we get to the middle of the summer. What a day today is. This is the day where we all have to prepare for baseball. Because that's all you got. NBA Finals wrapped up last night. Hockey a little while ago, so now it's just baseball from here until football begins. But it won't be that long, actually. I think the Hall of Fame game is the end of July, which is crazy. It's usually in August. But I'm fine with it. People dread the baseball. I love baseball. It's tough to bet on, but I got some plays on. I'm going to give out some series plays. I like to do a nice series play. I like to stretch it out a little bit. Also, I'll give you some of those for tonight that start tonight, so you get the next 3-4 games. Some good rivalries actually this weekend. I've always said that baseball is summer, obviously. It's a great summer sport. It's best listened to, though, I believe. Baseball is best either listened to or read, you know? Either on a radio, transistor radio on a beach, mowing the lawn, doing something, or read it in the morning, read the box scores. Watching it, that's when you get in a little trouble. Highlights are fun, of course. And now, like I said last time, they've adjusted the rules to make it more watchable by giving us less baseball. That's what their goal is there. Pitch clocks, ghost runners, just less and less baseball. But we're going to get into the baseball. Shohei had a big game yesterday. I want to break down that too a bit. The Shohei rules that happened there. But it is baseball. Basketball, I'll recap the NBA Finals in a second. course, they have to put other news in there. The Kevin Durant trade. We'll give out some baseball series. We'll have a man in the box. Yeah, we'll get all into it. So welcome, see generates and see gens and see Gentiles and see Jews alike. We're in the middle of a war. Does that make my bomb sound effect a little more insensitive, I think, during the middle of a war, since we are bombing and they're probably bombing back? And yeah. Either way, I like it. But like I said, the college football team previews are back on the college experience. Colby Dant and Moneyline Mac preview every FBS college football team, and you don't want to miss it. No, you do not. All right, let's get into the NBA Finals. That happened last night. Oklahoma City, Game 7. I'm rocking the OKC hat right now. Out of respect, what they did for us by winning the West, and they got our big ticket, our $20 into $20 million. But of course, the Oilers made a step back. But we know we're gonna keep moving forward. On the update on that, the $20 into $20 million is we're right around 7,000, actually a little less than 7,000, and we wanted to get to 11,000 so we can get the 10 survivors and the 1 circa millions. We might just have to settle for 5 survivors and 1 millions, but we'll see. JC from KC, but I will have more plays to go. When I'm not giving up, obviously, I'm not letting the Oilers shut me down for making another bet before the summer ends. I'll be going to Las Vegas on July 4th weekend with Kramer. I'm actually going to ride with Ryan Kramer. That'll be interesting. And then, I think I want to make a couple British Open bets, a couple small British Open bets. Like I said, I don't want to dip below the 6,000 or 7,000 range. So 6,000, 6+. So I'll just do a couple $100 bets on British Open. If we hit one of those, bang, we're right back in business, baby. So that's how we'll do that. JC, good to see. And like I said with the Oilers, and anytime you do it hockey, you know, when you bet hockey, loss is expected. Not expected, but it doesn't hurt you as much, It's like buying a goldfish at a carnival. You get that not buying a goldfish, winning a goldfish. You get that in a plastic bag, in a Ziploc with water. And, there's a good chance it might die before you get home. And you're all right, well, that was definitely a possibility. It might have made it to the bowl. It might have made it to the car. Definitely a possibility when we're talking hockey. Credit my man Sean Flannery with that line, host of the Blackout Diaries podcast, along with myself, a drinking storytelling show. If you're not subscribed to that, make sure you do. It's a fun time. We just put out a golf episode. That was actually pretty great. We talked about the Waste Management Open a lot. But the Thunder are the champions. Good for them. Congratulations, Thunder. Covered to 7.5 or 6.5, whatever it went. I'm glad the series is over with, though, to be honest with you. I hated all the talk around it. Maybe it's because I'm on X too much on Twitter. I haven't gotten myself over to Blue Sky. I just haven't done it. I know X is a horrible, horrible space with terrible people on there and terrible algorithms, but I don't know. I'm on there. I'm more comfortable on there, I guess. I don't know. But man, people they just hate on everything there. And I'm a hater myself, but good Lord, do they hate? They hate the Thunder. They hate SGA. This champion's got an asterisk. They're the world. I'm convinced there's no one they would allow to be champion. There's just no one worthy of being a champion. Yeah, the Thunder didn't dominate in the finals. They took them 7 games. And the Nuggets, but they had an incredible season. They were only underdogs 4 times all year. Regular season and playoffs. That's an amazing stat. They were favored in every single game except for 4 of them. And especially when you think about the NBA travel schedule the way it is nowadays, like you 3 out of 4 back-to-backs. To not be dogs in any of those except for 4 games is pretty wild. And they covered. They covered by the most. This Thunder team should be celebrated for covering the spread by margin. 63% of the time they covered the spread, which is by far the best in the league. Winning average margin over 11.5 points a game. They averaged a win by 11.5 points a game. They were just fucking insane. But also, so there was a lot of talk about how ESPN was horrible at covering it, and they were. And last night was exactly the same thing. Stephen A. just screaming pregame. It's incredible what they do, because they're enslaved to him because they give him so much money. But what I also like is, they've pushed the fake narrative. Oh, the two Midwest teams, the small markets, no one likes, But then there's the other side of it where, like, they tell you you have to enjoy the series, and it's okay if you did not enjoy the series. Yeah, a lot of basketball was exciting, but also 4 games were blowouts. 4 of the 7 were blowouts. Games 2, 5, 6, and 7 were all blowouts. Real hoop heads. I like when they say that. Real hoop heads. Acknowledge the game and like this game and no real basketball's going on. Okay, there was also a lot of blowouts. Let me go wide. Real hoop heads. I love being talked down to. You enjoy what you don't like. I know what your eyes say, but trust me, you enjoy it. Thanks. That's great. Feach, welcome to the chat. He says, congrats, CJ. Don't hate the Thunder, but they might be the most punchable squad ever. I mean, I agree. But I will say this too about the Thunder, because they do foul bait a little bit. SGA definitely does. But a defense, they mug you. And remember when when I had my great NBA guest, Kelly Dwyer, KD on Hoops, give him a follow. And I was asking about my Thunder. I was back when I was middle of the riding to the West ticket there. And he's like, this is what they do. They foul you almost every play, and they just dare the refs to blow the whistle, because they're like, you're not going to call everyone, right? And he's right. They're not. So a lot of people saw them basically for the first time in a series, like, good God, they get away with a lot. Like, yeah, that's what they do. They do it by sheer volume. I, for one, just enjoy a team playing defense in the NBA, which hasn't happened a lot anymore. They put pressure. Pacers did too. The Pacers was definitely a little more fun. The Thunder weren't as fun. SGA is not even a fun superstar. He's good. He's very good. Jalen Williams is kind of fun. I mean, their games aren't that fun. Caruso's fun, though. We hit some Caruso binks. And TJ McConnell, man, what I tell you about that white-on-white crime? It was just incredible. They were going at each other.
Give it up for the exciting Whites!
McConnell, like what, 12, 14 in the third quarter, but he was the only one scoring. Why wasn't Siakam out there, by the way? My God. I mean, we'll get to the Halliburton injury, but Jesus. Once Halliburton goes down, and that was obviously horrible, and it changed the whole mood of the game. Because it looked like he was about to have a legacy game. He hit those 3 threes, and, he's on the injured calf. That turns into a torn Achilles, and that ruins everything. So now he's out for the entire fucking second year. Something has to be done about these hamstring, because these hamstring injuries lead to that Achilles. It happened with Tatum, happened with Lillard, happened with Durant in the finals a couple years ago. They have to start treating that like a concussion. Like, you just cannot. I mean, it is a tough situation. Obviously, how you can't tell a player not to play Game 7 if he can go out there, and Halliburton's going to do it because he's a professional athlete and that's what they do. But when it leads to that, it's like, ooh, Jesus God. And it went down, and ESPN made sure we saw that injury about 58 times before they started basketball. They were showing slow motion, like it was the damn JFK Saputo film of the calf muscle shaking around where we damn well near was a torn Achilles. Thanks, ESPN.
Bad luck just seeing a thing like that.
We got it. He's hurt. Please stop showing this gunshot fucking injury over time. It was awful. And Pacers were up, 1 at halftime, but then they got blown out in the third quarter with all the turnovers. But no Siakam. It was just weird. Game 7, Carlisle, I get it. You have your rotations. You like your depth. But we don't need to see Thomas Bryant, Ben Shepherd out there at all on Game 7. I want Siakam out there until the damn wheels fall off. Run him into the ground. He can get tired in the summer. But didn't happen. Thunder won. Thunder covered. It is what it is. It does put the stink on. It does put the asterisk on it, though, that Halliburton thing, for sure, no doubt. I think Thunder was the best team, and they won because they won. But you know, it's just a bad feeling if you never know what would have happened if Halliburton played. For the Pacers, it's a win-win. You can say, hey, you know, if they would have won, sure, we're the champions. If not, hey, you beat us without our best player. Good for you, Thunder. You're a joke. But I always say, you ever see that? Bill Murray had a funny weekend update segment years ago on Saturday Night Live where he was talking about the women in military, and that was his angle. Where he's like, hey, put women in the military for sure. If we win, great, we won the war. If we lose, you beat a bunch of girls. Oh, I accidentally hit a big earn.
Cultural gap.
Not that one.
Big time.
You're ugly. Big Earn is above the law. It's a great.
Oh, but yeah, you beat a bunch of ladies.
Dancing for ladies.
Yeah, that Feach makes a good point too. The camera crew following TJ McConnell crying on, it looked like his mom, but it was not his mom. It was a Pacer staff member. And they followed him. Feach says he followed the camera through like it was Jerry Springer through the tunnel. Yeah, just show getting right in there to cry. We want to see the tears. He's in a money shot. Like, get out of here. Get out of here, ABC. And they did. Other than that, it was pretty much, I guess it was the most watched game in 6 years. But they love the frickin' with the ratings and shit. Could people let go of the ratings? Especially with the NBA, if teams like the Lakers are selling for $10 billion, I think they're doing okay. I think business is not a problem for them. Who gives a shit about the rating? They have their $1 trillion NBC deal. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, that crying there was good. People were talking about how they didn't celebrate afterwards. They're doing those comparisons. They're just shaking hands. It's because it was like it was kind of a coronation, and they didn't drink beer afterwards. Yeah, they're all 22, and it was all Mick Ultra, so I can see that. Pacers drank beer. How about the big news beforehand, where they saw tour buses? Or tour buses, like parade buses painted in thunder. Whoa, is it too early? No, they're planning ahead. There's nothing else to do in Oklahoma City. You plan ahead. And Carlisle's like, this is all I'm thinking about. I think he was joking, obviously, Rick Carlisle. Great coach. But I love when they do that. Oh, they had the stuff ready. Yeah, they have to prepare. In that dull city. How quickly do you think those Thunder team got the hell out of Oklahoma City, though? I was looking up nightclub. There was like one nightclub, Secrets, that's open in Oklahoma City last night on Sunday night. Everything else, last call, 10 o'clock. You're going to TGI Fridays. Let's go to Bennigan's. Bennigan's is a fun bar, though. I wouldn't mind doing a little post-game celebration, a little championship celebration of Bennigan's, right?
It ain't gonna work, buddy.
Well, we'll try it out anyway. Now, I like how people are really overreacting because of the Halliburton injury about how they have to shorten the season. Colin Coward's making 5 games of playoffs. It's not going to happen. Owners know it's too long. They don't care. They want the most. Every owner in every sport, every season should be shortened. They're trying to extend it. Hey, owners, you just got $1 trillion. You think we can shave 20 games off the season maybe and have players care? You'll have less tanking and less injuries?
That's not the answer.
All right. We just thought we'd bring it up. That's all. Well, you know, just thought I'd bring it up anyway. All right. Oh, I'm running a little late here on my outline. Boy. I'm glad I didn't even get to my thing yet. I'll tell us right after I tell this ad read here of mybookie.ag, because we're brought to you by mybookie.ag. Your website, your place to bet on every sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. A bet I like on my bookie is the Braves tonight. First 5 innings, -0.5 run is -110 versus the Mets. I'll talk a little later about the Braves and the Mets, but yeah, who's pitching tonight for the Braves? Oh, Spencer Schlellenbrocker versus Paul Blackburn, who is awful for the Mets. So that's a bet I like on there. So head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And of course, the Circa Fantasy Football giveaway. So I will be at Circa, of course, in a couple weeks. Love it there. It's a strip casino downtown, and I only go downtown. Circa Casino and Casino, Circa Resort and Casino, Vegas. They're giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league and draft in Vegas. Be treated like VIPs for the stay. You get a limo ride, $5,000 tab, stadium swim, hotel for all your league mates, and you always get 15% off at all the Circa properties with code SGP15. It's your last chance to enter the Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Circa. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/CIRCA. All right. We are back. I told you I am going to Circa for that July 4th weekend, and they're doing a hot dog eating contest themselves, beanies and wieners or whatever. And Ryan working on me being a judge. Huh? How great would that be? The laddie daddy, the man in the box, judging girls in bikinis eating hot dogs. Now, I don't know what you judge. You just judge by what they look like. But I'm in. I'm in for that. That's exactly what I need in my summer. All right. Channing Brown, welcome to the chat. No matter that you're late, it's fine. You didn't miss much. Trust me. John said J. Will Sports Center said he was celebrating with Shirley Temples. I do like J. Will. J. Will's pretty funny. He admitted to watching YouTube highlights of himself to pump himself up. Yeah, so I made a bet. I don't want to get too into the details, but the bet detective is having a little problem online with one of my plays. I had a Thunder and 7 ticket, and it's magically disappeared from my account. Not marked or unmarked. So we're on it. We'll crack some heads. We'll get in there, and maybe I'll take my business elsewhere. See if that threatens them. I don't want to put them on blast yet, but that's my other threat. Listen to me. I have an army of degenerates. I can fly like they're as powerful as the Swifties. So you don't want to be bad on my bad gambling side out there. Like I said, I won't name the site yet, but they are a possible sponsor. All right. So NBA, of course, the NBA can't get away out of their own way. Announcing a huge trade the day of Game 7. Kevin Durant to Houston. It was a boring trade, actually. The haul was terrible. You trade Kevin Durant, have some fun, for crying out loud. Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks in like 32nd round picks. What the hell is this? First of all, can you imagine if the NFL announced a trade the day of the Super Bowl? Goodell would kick them to the moon. They announced like a Dak Prescott trade or something. What are you doing? I'm shocked ESPN just didn't ask SGA on the podium. I'm surprised Lisa Salters didn't ask SGA on the podium what he thought about the big KD trade. What about his legacy on his 9th team? Is that you fear about that? You think that's going to give him a chance? I don't know. We just won the championship. I'm 26. I know, but we all care about the KD trade. Kevin Durant. And yeah, it was an easy trade for Houston. I love the 2nd round picks. How worthless are 2nd round picks in the NBA? They gave him 5. They probably offered more. But Phoenix turned it down. That's enough. Stop giving us all your damn 2nd round picks. They're more of a hassle anyway. Now that the draft is a 2-day event, you have to hang out the 2nd day. Fuck that. Houston's like, yeah, we only booked 1 day in New York, so take our 2nd round picks. Take them all for the next 10 years. Who cares? It's like dropping off books at a library or a bookstore. Eventually they stop. Like, listen, we have too many books. Just put them back in your car. We don't want them. No, you got to take them. Free books. It's free 2nd round picks. We don't have room for all these 2nd round picks. What are we going to do with them? Like the Thunder, they have 1 million picks because the Bulls just flat out forgot to ask for him when they gave him Alex Caruso. It's like, now we'll just take that giddy guy, that pedophile. You sure you don't want any of our picks? We have a lot. Yeah, now we're all right. Oh, wait a minute. We do need picks. Can you give them? Well, we already processed the trade. Damn it. All right, maybe next time. We will find the culprit. Virgil, welcome to the chat. Says $20 to 20 million, looking good. LFG, yeah, it's looking fine. Looking fine. We're on a steady path. Like I said, we're going to Vegas a little bit. We're going to play a little British Opens. We're going to try to get to that max, but we're still on course. Had a hockey hiccup. That's all. No big deal. Thunder did their job though. Yeah, the timing of it, the second round picks, it's just incredible. The draft is Wednesday. Also, the draft is Wednesday. What? All right. On Wednesday's Bottom Line Bombs, I'll give out some draft props because why not? Those are always fun. You gotta have some kind of interest in that. I'll have to do some research because I know Cooper Flag and I know that's it. But like I said, that is it for the NBA season. Congratulations on basketball. And now it is baseball season. Like it or not, C-generates. And I like it. Like I said, it's fine. Baseball will get us through a bit here in the summer. There was the College World Series that wrapped up yesterday. Speaking of ESPN terrible coverage, people are talking shit about the ESPN NBA Finals coverage. Well deserved. It was awful. But their College World Series was no much better. They were doing it like it was a Little League World Series. They're showing us the stands and the celebrities, and they're asking who their favorite baseball player. Hey, Timmy, do you like pizza? What? I'm 23. I'm already a second round pick. Well, but who's your favorite? What's your favorite TikTok trend? Or I asked some questions like that. It was insane. LSU won. The manager got tossed in the first inning for Coastal Carolina, which is ridiculous. It's the fucking World Series.
And once again, we apologize for CJ's language.
And he tosses him for arguing balls and strikes. And then one umpire took a flop and did a backwards somersault. Like, what are we doing? Umpires are out of hand. Anyway, good job, LSU. But the Dodger game yesterday, Shohei Ohtani pitched again, hit a home run yesterday, did some real Babe Ruth stuff, all the stuff I bet on for him to do the first game. He did not. But I was curious when I saw him pitch the first game, how does he get away with this? How did the Dodgers get away with allowing him to be the listed pitcher? And then bottom half of the inning, he just slips into the DH role. It doesn't seem right. How can he be both? You would think someone in the position would have, in the field would have to, I don't even know how that would work. We'll have to sit down. And then I just came to the, like, they have Shohei rules, whatever. It's Shohei, We don't really question those things. Usually we're pretty much sticklers for the rules. We're baseball. But this is Shohei, and he seems to be one thing that everyone likes to watch, and we need more people watching. So we're gonna let him do whatever he wants. That's what I jokingly thought. And then I did some bet detective work and looked it up a bit. And that's exactly what it is. They made up a Shohei rule. It's insane. Under the current rules, a player can pitch and also be the designated hitcher in the same game with a specific provision known as the Ohtani rule. It's called the Ohtani rule. Hilarious. It works like this. Starting as a pitcher and DH. A player like Shohei Ohtani can begin the game listed as both the starting pitcher and DH. Remain as a DH after being replaced as pitcher. This rule allows a team to keep the player in the game as a DH even after a new pitcher is brought in to replace a starter. Prior to that, you could not do that. If a pitcher batted for themselves, was later removed from the mound, that was it. But then we're like, they're the Dodgers. They're going to do what they want, and that's Shohei, and that's that. So deal with it. That's basically what it is. Deal with it. Whatever. Yeah, you know how we have all kinds of insane rules, like Rule 1.45XC3. You can't jump on the mound and 3 times and buck. Yeah, we're gonna throw all that away for Shohei, which I'm gonna love it. We all want to see Shohei play. We want to see him pitch and hit. I just don't. Oh, anyway, I didn't lie out. It's something not doesn't go right with me. It's weird. Shohei, and everyone loves Shohei, and I love Shohei too. But it's almost not worth him pitching because of the injuries that happen to pitchers nowadays. Like, injuries are so prevalent in pitching nowadays that it's not worth having a slugger, I think, like him to be hurt. Like, I'd just rather have his bat out there. I mean, he's a great pitcher, but the threat of pitching injury, I mean, granted he got the bat still while he was hurt, but like, it's just inevitable that if you're pitching now, if you're a young pitcher, whatever, you're going to get hurt badly. They talk about getting Tommy John surgery out of the way early in your career, like it's chicken pox growing up. Like, yeah, you better get that chicken pox now because it'll kill you as an adult. So, yeah, get that Tommy John surgery. Yeah, throw it out. And then you miss about a year and a half. You come back better than ever. That's just pitching in baseball. It's wild. There's no pitchers that don't get hurt. Anyway. Especially the Dodger pitching staff. That's there's been a lot of statistics on that. They're all going down. Part of it is because they sign injury-prone pitchers on the cheap. I mean, not cheap, but good value. Your Glass Nails and Blake Snells. But I don't know. There's some voodoo science going on with that doctor. I don't know if I trust everything that's going on over there. Anyway, all right. Let me tell you about Underdog, and then we'll talk. Then I'll give out some baseball plays. How about that? Some MLB series plays, and we'll do a man in a box as well as we're moving along here in beautiful Los Angeles, June 23rd, in the middle of World War III. All right, where is it? I got the Underdog. Where is Underdog? Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million in first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog, also a great place to play Pick'em. A Pick'em entry that I like, I'm going to give it a little lady play. How about that? Little lady dog, if you will.
Dancing for ladies!
Let's go Caitlin Clark, higher than 19.5 points, and Paige Buckets, higher than 5.5 assists. A little lady bounce back for both of them. Sign up a promo code BOMBS. Claim your special pick. First time deposit up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code BOMBS. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. The Rhythm's going to bet you. Rhythm is going to bet you. The Rhythm's going to bet you with props. Now, you've heard me talk about Rhythm before. They just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won at a high ROI. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out the Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. A power trend they like for tonight is Scooble on the bump for Detroit. Higher over 4.5 hits allowed. They really like that. It's a low number for sure. Scooble is great though. But get your 7-day free trial today. sportsgamepodcast.com/rhythm. Maybe I'll follow that. I don't know. Who knows? We're back here on the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, CJ Sullivan. I had to give a dramatic pause there because that's when I put in the ads later. Just put a little peek behind the curtain. For the man in the box, for all the live degenerates out here, you know how it works. Don't tell all the other ones who listen on the podcast, you know, how later on in lives. And I still appreciate you guys subscribing. Hit the thumbs up button here on the YouTube. Make sure you do that. Get that algorithm going. Subscribe to the podcast. So I don't even care if you listen to how those downloads go right in there. You get the bonus episodes, the $20, 20 million in bonus episodes I put out on Friday. They're a little different than normal. I recorded them separately. Not as high clutch with the effects, but they're short. The way I like them, they're short. Little 10, 15-minute digestibles. Nothing wrong with a digestible. So yeah, subscribe to all that. Follow me on X at CJ Sullivan _ at CJ Sullivan was taken _ each word for Instagram. You can email me at bottomlinebombs@thesgpn.com. You can do all that stuff, but make sure and subscribe to the YouTube, of course, at Bottom Line Bombs. All right, where were we? We were talking. Oh yeah, we were talking baseball, weren't we? Nothing wrong with a little baseball. Like I said, listen to it, read it, try not to watch it, bet it. So I'm going to break in. I'm going to start doing some series plays. Series begins tonight. I got a couple good rivalry ones, and that way you just play 3 or 4. Who wins the series? Like the Phillies just beat the Mets 2 out of 3. You would have won that play. The Mets are in. Let's start off with that. Braves Mets start off tonight. I mentioned I like the Braves first 5 -1/2 a run tonight. I also like them to win the game tonight, but that juice got a little high. But the series plays Atlanta -120, Mets even. I'm going to go with the Braves. These Mets are in disarray. The Braves are coming back a little bit. They obviously had a horrible start with a lot of injuries, but they're starting to play Braves baseball. And the Mets are a mess. Their pitching's been destroyed. A lot of people on X, speaking of X, where you get a lot of fun personalities like Clay Travis and all them, and Lenny Dykstra, they like to say that the Mets have not won. They did win on Saturday though versus the Phillies. Since they showed the pride flag in the national anthem. Oh man, they're fun. People are really fun and chill online. This is going to be such a chill summer. Everyone's going to be really cool about things, It's just going to get better and better, I think. You could tell. It's just out there. People are really cool and listening to each other. But anyway, let's break down this Mets Braves series. Like I said, you have Spencer Schoenbach tonight, who's got a 3.26 ERA, versus Paul Blackburn, who's got a 6.5 ERA. Blackburn's been awful. He's going to get knocked out early, I believe, I hope. And if he does, maybe they'll tax that bullpen a lot. Mets do have a better bullpen, but they're going to have to use a lot of it. So that's game 1. Hopefully we'll get that tonight. They're -140. Then tomorrow, you got Spencer Strider versus Frankie Morales, whoever the fuck that guy is. Guy's back from assignment. Got him off the White Sox for crying out loud this year. Spencer Strider's back to his. I mean, he's not his stellar form, but he's been pretty good. He keeps it in front of him. 3.89 ERA. So I think we can win these first 2 games to a bad reeling Mets squad that they play well at home, but recently they've just been getting lit up everywhere. So give me back-to-back Spencer for hire, Spencer and Hawk. Mark Wahlberg remade Spencer for hire. What the hell is that all about? Had nothing to do with it. And the third game, just in case we need it, we got Fuentes going for the Braves and Clay Holmes, who is very good for the Mets with a 3.04 ERA. But let's go Atlanta Braves. That's our first big series bomb play for the Laddie Daddy Bet Detective, the Bombino. That's what I am. When I'm baseball, I'm the Bombino. I need a good baseball song. Maybe get some RBI baseball in there. I don't even know what I want to do. I don't know. I'm fine with it though. In the chat, Feach says he's riding with that Cal Raleigh, aka the Big Dumper, this summer. There we go. Cal Raleigh. Amazing what he's doing up there with Seattle. He's the greatest catcher of all time, apparently. He's breaking all catcher home run records. I like to see the catcher come back. Always good, fun catcher. Catchers are usually the old guard, little jerks. I think of Johnny Bench when I think of a catcher. Johnny Bench, one time on This Week in Baseball, or Bench's Bunch, whatever. Remember what TV show he had? Remember baseball players had weird TV shows in the 80s and 70s? Was it the Bench Bunch? What the hell was his show? Johnny Bench used to say that he would position his glove like slightly like 6 inches higher or lower to where the ball was going if he knew which way the batter was going to foul the ball off so he could catch the foul tip on a strike 3. Which is amazing to think about. But also, Johnny Bench is a liar. There's no way that's true. You didn't do that, Johnny Bench. Shut up. And you sold Pete Rose out. So I don't believe anything Johnny Bench says. All right, next series. Cubs-Cardinals, 4-game series. So this one's got highly likely to split. They're both minus 115. Let's take a look. The probables really aren't out for this. Tonight, it's got Ben Brown, who I love for the Cubs. Lieberstore is good as well for the Cardinals. Actually, I like the under in this game. Big rivalry, the Cubs-Cardinals rivalry. Everyone, it's an annoying rivalry. They do not like each other. Right in the pool holes. This is in St. Louis. So it's a different ballpark, obviously, home run ballpark at Wrigley. So anytime you get a bashing team going to a non-home hitting park, you're playing with fire here. But this Cubs team's hot, and this Cardinals team is just not the same Cardinals team. They have the reputation, they have the name brand and the best fans in baseball. There's that hilarious account where they call themselves the best fans in baseball. But they're really just racist. That they love their Cardinals. I hate the Cardinals, to be honest with you. I'm going to take the Cubs minus 115. Let's see if we can get some of the probables because I haven't really listed them all just yet. Like I said, today is Brown versus Liberatore, which is a great matchup. Brent Brown's just been awesome. He's been striking out almost like the average of 11 a game. I expected to see all the advanced numbers. Tomorrow, Cubs got Talon throwing, who's been nice as well. Oh, the Cardinals have announced they're going with Fetty. And then we got Boyd versus Palante. Boyd's been a hot fire. See, these Cubs, they don't let up. And then Horton versus Sonny Gray on the 4th game. Sonny Gray's been great for the Cardinals. So 2-2 is likely. But if I'm going to get even money on the Cubs to just get more than one win. 2 is a push, 3 is a win, obviously. 4 is just rubbing it in. But I'm going to go with the Cubs minus 110. Just to get your money back, they just got to win 2 games, but they're going to win 3. I like the Cubs to beat the Cardinals here. Why not? They're on fire. They're the hottest ticket in town. I'm planning my Cubs trip. I usually get a Cubs trip in every summer. I need to get back to Chicago. I haven't planned my Chicago trip this summer. I'm going there in the fall for a benefit show for the old Laddie Chitty Chatty Laddie Patty, Pat Bryce of the old Business Locker Room, my old buddy. He passed away. They have a charity for him they're opening up called A Billion Pennies. So I'm doing a stand-up show then in October. But I need to get a summer. You need to get a summer Chicago in because Chicago is the best summer city in America, no doubt. It's not even close. The summer there is amazing. It gets hot. There's a street festival every weekend. They don't care what the fest is. 80s fest, taste of Lincoln, taste of Chicago, taste of Lakeview. Just get drunk and sweat in the streets. It's going to be great. There's going to be cover bands. But they have the lake there, and it's beautiful, and everyone comes to the city. Like New York, people leave the city, and it's garbage and hot garbage smell. Chicago, though, in the summer is just amazing. So I need to get out there. Do Wrigley, do whatever. Maybe I'll do it in a couple weeks when the Red Sox come to town. That'll be a fun time. Speaking of the Red Sox, that's our next series. Red Sox Angels. This is going to be our dog we're playing. In Anaheim. Which might as well be in Mexico. Feach says, CJ, I truly hope this doesn't offend you, but you feel more like a Sox guy. You are right. Listen, I lived in Chicago a long time. And I preferred the White Sox. I'm definitely more of a White Sox personality guy. Pat Bryce, who I was just talking about, my great friend who passed, who we're doing the benefit for, definitely a White Sox guy from Bridgeport, South Side. First of all, you can stretch out in that stadium. I love going to White Sox games. You can stretch out, neighborhood bars. It gets a little dicey at night, but you get out of there, you know? But he used to have the great line, Pat Bryce, about Cubs games because he was a true South Sider. But we lived up north, you know, when we were doing comedy in Chicago coming up, you know, there was a big scene. You lived up north. That's where all the shows were. And it's nicer living up there, to be honest with you. And he would say, his quote about Wrigley Field was like, there's the only place on earth where I love every woman there and hate every guy and want to kill every guy. That was his thing about Wrigley Field, where every guy was a douchebag, but every girl was just fucking hot as hell. And he wasn't wrong. So no, not offended at all, Feach. You are right. I'm definitely, I give off Sox energy, if you will. And I definitely would actually kind of prefer. I've gone to some miserable White Sox games. So sometimes they cannot give away those tickets. You have to pay me to go to some White Sox games, but I don't mind it. The food's better there too, and I like a place we can stretch out where it's not packed. Trust me, Wrigley is oversaturated douchebag haven, but it's still a good time as well. Don't want to hate on it. I definitely like it more than now that I don't live there. When I lived there and in an era, like, oh God, it's awful. Good God. I can't. Now you got me in the whole thing. Let me get to the Angels Red Sox. This Red Sox team, since they traded Devers, I know they just played a big series for San Francisco. They're hitting some they don't have any bats. They need Devers' fucking stick in there. Good God, why do I keep cursing like that?
And once again, we apologize for CJ's language.
The Angels are plus 125. Red Sox are a big $1.60 favorite. I'm taking the Angels. I'm taking the dog. Tonight, you got Walker Buehler on the mound for Boston. He's been awful. 5.95 ERA. I mean, granted, the Angels pitcher's no better. Jack Koknowitz, he's been bad too. Might be a nice over, actually, tonight. Then you got to fade Crochet. Not easy, obviously. But we got Tyler Anderson going up there. Then Richie Fitz versus Yugi Kikuchi for the Angels. And he's been great. 3.01 ERA. Fitz has got it. Is 0-3 with a 4.71. And this Sox lineup is bad. They're really bad right now. This Angel team, they hit lefties or they don't hit lefties. One or the other. Crochet is going to shut them down. But they got a pretty good chance of winning those two other games. So you're going to be plus 125 at a team that's been playing all right. Well, I'll bomb that. Give me the Angels over Boston as a dog. Those are my 3 series plays. Braves minus 120, Cubs minus 115, Angels plus 125. And those are my 3 MLB series bombs from the Bombino. That's a good baseball name, the Bombino. I think I like that. All right. Yeah, let's get into the box. We're doing pretty well here. Oh, I just took a look at myself here in the close-up camera as I go to the box. I shaved today. Got a clean puss. Usually I would leave the mustache a little bit, but my electric razor I did it usually trims it is kind of busted. I need to get a new one, so I had to go straight razor. And the only way to do that is to take the mustache completely off. Because if you just leave a little bit, then you got a Hitler thing going on. I don't do goatees. True story. I went to cut my eyebrows. I have Andy Rooney-esque eyebrows. Shout out to the original Man in the Box, Andy Rooney, one of my heroes. I have eyebrows just like Andy Rooney, and they like barbers, women, they can't believe it. Like, I love your eyebrows. They're thick. I wish I had them. Like, eyebrow, take them. I don't know what the hell to do with these things. Women like my eyebrows, not on me. They don't like, I should correct that. Women don't like the eyebrows on me. They want them for themselves. They said they want thick eyebrows, apparently. I guess that's a thing. But anyway, mine get unruly and curl out like Rooney. So I went to cut them with, your standard scissors. Nothing No, no real proper equipment, like construction scissors, basically, that you would cut wrapping paper up with, like you're wrapping a Christmas gift. And I damn near poked my eye. I damn near cut my eyeball. That's what I'm doing at home at the Man in the Box. That's how I'm getting prim and proper for you, for all the degenerates. All right, let's see. Over the weekend, so it is summer movie time. We'll speaking of Chicago, a little Siskel and Ebert. A little Reeler's Choice. Summer blockbuster season. I finally saw the Mission Impossible. It was not in IMAX, so it's already in Los Angeles. They already put the How to Train Your Dragon in all those, so I had to go see it in the standard movie screen, which whatever. I was excited to see it. Just because I like the Mission Impossible. I like Tom Cruise. You know what I mean? He's you know what you're getting, you get it every time. I always say this with Tom Cruise. He has the same acting choice every time. He's a hot shot. He's either a hot shot fighter pilot, a hot shot bartender, hot shot Vietnam cripple, you know? He would do tricks in that chair and take it down flights of steps. You know, he's always that's his acting choice, hot shot. And I love it. I already mentioned Sean Flannery, the Blackout Diaries podcast. Make sure you subscribe to that. He says Tom Cruise is important because all of his movies, the plot is that his boss is trying to kill him. His job. So he's telling us that corporate America is actually trying to kill us. It's not saving us, which I can get behind that as well. Anyway, I don't mind the Mission Impossibles. I compare it to the Fast and Furious series where after the third one, it went 1, 2, 3. And then in the fourth installment, they decided to like throw any common sense out. Like, you know what? Fuck it. What are we doing?
And once again, we apologize for CJ's language.
Who cares about plot holes and scripts or anything? Let's just go for it. Let's just throw these guys in space. Fast and Furious, they're like rocket ships now. I thought it was a car racing. Who cares? There's just no logic. And I love it. And it's great. It's just great action scenes. Mission Impossible. Cruise has had like 3 different wives have died in that series. Who cares? Put a new one out there. I've always said that too. Every movie there in Mission Impossible, like his love interest is always, one of the most beautiful, exotic women you've ever seen in your life. And you're like, good Lord, where do they find her? She's obviously going to be a huge star after this, right? Nope. No, you're never going to hear from her again. That's in the contract. Tom puts that in the contract. They pluck her off some village in a land somewhere and they drop her right back off. You are not going to be seen again. But anyway, there was a review about this Mission Impossible. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. They saved the worst for last, and they did. This one was not good. By the time they got to the scenes where he's hanging off a plane and shit, it's like the first hour was just all reviewing all the other Mission Impossible movies. Montage. They never had a montage. Now they're montaging all the movies, all the stunts. They're going all the way back to 1. The plot lines are acting like we care about these. We don't care about these characters. We don't even know who these characters are. We know they're agents. We know Ving Rhames. We know Cruise. That's about it. Simon Pegg a little bit. But yeah, we don't care about what other stunts he did back in the day. Let's get to it. God, who forget? They have some new kid out there and he dies and we care about him. Oh, you're supposed to like him. Now he's dead. We don't care. Just hang Tom Cruise off a plane. I want to see him run and I want to see him hanging on things. Not in a submarine for 40 minutes too. That was a scene that took on forever. Anyway, I'm not telling you not to see it, but a little disappointed. And he talks to you before the movie. He did that for the last one too. There's the movie, you see all the trailers, and there's 50 trailers, including one for the new Smurf movie. Why is there a Smurf trailer for the Mission Impossible audience? Who is this for? Who the fuck is this Smurf movie for?
And once again, we apologize for CJ's language.
Or I should say, who the Smurf is this Smurfing movie for? Because that's all it is in the trailer is just Smurf puns. Well, I just Smurfed my pants. Oh, go Smurf yourself. I don't get the Smurf. I mean, kids don't know what the Smurfs are. Like we knew because we grew up with it. We didn't like them that much. They really misread or misjudged how much we give a Smurf about Smurfs. I'm like, oh, Gargamel, was he the villain? I don't even know. Was he the villain? He had a cat? Who cares? That was a dud during the trailer scene, the Smurf movies. But yeah, and anyway, all the trailers are done. And next, then you see Tom Cruise talking to us. Hey, thanks for coming to the movie. We're wrapping up this big series. What a journey. What? It's me, Tom Cruise. You're about to see more of me, Tom Cruise. But they're going to call me Ethan. So really slip into the fictional mystery world. Boy, way to raise the curtain on that. It is just a Tom Cruise jerk fest, this movie. I mean, he's in his underwear, a couple of different scenes. We don't need all this. We don't need all this, Tom. We get it. You're Tom. You're Tomcat. You saved the movie biz, but it was too much. I'll go ahead and say it was too much Tom. We don't need all this. I don't have all this Tom on my hands. Anyway. Yeah, so that was that. I just haven't made another movie in a while. You got to go out to the movies. Save the business. They love saying that. Say it. You got to see it in the screen. Support it. Why? Or I can watch it at home in about 2 weeks where I know I'll be. I have a good TV with what they have in the God's Eye here at the studio. I have at home where I can get pretty much any game, any channel and stuff like that. It's a little shady in the business there, you might have to pay with crypto, but it's not much. It's like, turns out to be $10 a month because they pretty much just want your data. But it's got all these old shows. Problem is, it's all like streaming stuff, and they kind of just rip it off out of the internet. So sometimes it'll glitch, and then it can, and which gets annoying. Like if you're watching a show and you're binging a show, and then like a pivotal episode just won't be there, and then they get you. That's why I think they're in cahoots with Hulu, actually, because then I had to buy an episode. I watched a show Manhunt, about the Unabomber. They've done 2 series of it. I think it was on Discovery years ago. One was about the Olympic bomber, and the other one was about the Unabomber. So I watched the Unabomber one, and then it gets to the last episode. I saved it for Saturday night, and it wouldn't load. I got all the way to the end in the most pivotal episode. Now I had to pay $5.99 to find out if they ever catch the Unabomber. I mean, they were closing in on him. They had his hut surrounded in Montana. It was a little shed. But I don't know. I'll never know because I'm not paying for that final episode, and who knows? So be careful, C-Generates. The Unabomber may or may not still be out there. I don't know. I have no idea. I know they're getting close in on him, but I'm not sure if that warrant's going to hold up. Literary evidence or whatever they were talking about. So yeah, that's my warning to the C-Generates. The Unabomber still might be out. No, I know they got him, and then he went to jail. His brother dimed him out. Because of his wife, his sister-in-law was like, didn't like the way he treated her at the wedding or something. So the brother had to dime him out. Oh, well, I'll eventually get there. I'll see if I can finagle something on YouTube or something like that. But anyway, that's Realer's Choice. That's summer. Listen, the summer, we're going to start stretching away. We're going to do some baseball plays. No problem here. Like I said, I'm going to have a week off after the 4th of July weekend. And we come back to the British Open that week, and then we're going to get right into some football previews, and next thing you know, we're off and running. And I will be giving out my British Open play early in Vegas for my $20 million if you want to tail along and go with it. There's a couple guys that are interesting that I think will be fun to play. That if they ship, and we'll be back in business again. But that was Realer's Choice. That That will do it for today's show in the box here. I've seen that Sullivan. Thank you, C. Generous. Thank you, everyone in the chat. John Feach, Channing, Virgil. Who else was that in here? A lot of people were up. JC from KC. Always good to see him. We got you got to be excited for football. The first they play in Brazil versus Chargers, then Eagles Super Bowl rematch week 2. That'll be exciting. Anyway, subscribe, do all that stuff. You know how it is. The main show, I'll be on there as well. Wednesday I'll do an NBA draft preview. I'm always tailing off. You know how this is. Get in your cars, get home, get the hell out of here, and I'll see you guys on